Majority of the jewelry brands out there rely specifically on either ad traffic or foot traffic, but they're not focusing on the one lever that is going to make you the most profitable and make sure that you're converting way more customers that wouldn't have otherwise. And that specific thing is retention in email marketing. Because if you think about it, there's so many customers that are coming through and they don't know their sizing, or they're not ready to place an order yet. They need a lot of convincing and a lot of specifications sent over to them to tackle their pain points. And the only thing that can really do that reliably is email marketing. So this is the exact blueprint, step by step, that you can apply to your brand and literally copy paste the strategy to add an additional $500,000 every single month in pure profit. That's exactly what we've done for this brand that lives in the Diamond District. And if they can do it, you can as well. So let's get into the details. So take a look at this backend. This is a brand that we are doing $585,000 for per month in additional profit that they wouldn't have had otherwise. You can see the brand name over there. They live in the Diamond District in New York, and it's one of the toughest markets, the most competitive markets, and yet we've been able to add this additional revenue. Now, the main way that we've been able to do this so reliably is a few things. But first, let me show you their month-over-month growth so you can see that every single month there's been an additional gain, and if they didn't work with us, they actually would have lost $500,000 every month because they didn't have us in place. So let's take a look at the month over month growth. Over the last 12 months, they did not have email marketing in place at all. Now, if you do have email marketing, I can almost guarantee that you're doing it incorrectly, but take a look at this. This has been a month over month growth. They brought us on over here, and you can see that every single month we basically increased, and in May, we were able to do almost $730,000, which is insane. Now, main ways, let me walk you through the step by step. First of all, the main thing that we're focusing on is capturing all of the traffic that is going to the website and not placing orders. And the main way we're doing that is with a sign-up form and a really decent offer. So if we go take a look over here, you can see their pop-up form. We have a $100 off offer. Now, it's not converting incredibly well because with most jewelry brands, obviously it really depends on high quality traffic and making sure as well that on that traffic we are obviously giving them a worthy enough offer. So the best offer that we've seen and tested is $100 off, and what we're also testing is making it a mystery discount so they don't know exactly what they're getting. Then we redirect them to the inbox, but you can also give that straight off the bat. So again, what we're running a split test on that I highly recommend is making this a mystery offer or telling them straight up that they have $100 off. Personally, we found that the mystery pop-up is the best. The second thing that we're doing is we have an exit intent. So for people that are about to leave the website, we give them an even juicier offer. The whole point of this is we're trying to convert way more ad traffic than just relying on CAC and first time conversions. We're trying to figure out how to get people to convert way beyond that. And this is the best way. Now let's take a look at what's actually moving the lever, right? So when we go over to the flows, this is the number one thing that is generating majority of the revenue every single day. So on autopilot, you can see that this flow alone has generated over $30,000. Now let's go take a look at the last 30 days so you can really see the overall impact of that all. So if we go over here, you can see the welcome series alone is $189,000, $113,000 to abandon checkout, and $84,000 to abandon cart. I'm going to go into detail about all of this, but first, because this is the main lever, I need you to understand the other part of the funnel. So first of all, that sign-up form, super important. We're going to come back to the flows. But second of all, what you need in place is obviously a reliable sending strategy. So what we do is we send very consistently for them. Because keep in mind, the issue with jewelry brands not scaling is not because people are not interested. The reason is because you need way more buy-in emotionally, because this is an emotional purchase. People don't often just buy jewelry for the sake of it. It's usually a gift, it's an engagement, it's whatever it is. But because of the price tag, people need to be sure about their decision and they need to compare all of their options. And that's exactly what we do for them. So you can see every campaign that we're sending, we're very specific and we're trying to cater it. So for example, we're giving them reasons to buy our products. So we're saying, hey, do you know her taste? This is how to find her ring. We give them a sizing test. We give them a personality test. We're sending them very specific campaigns so that if it is a male shopping for a woman, they can really make a good decision. And likewise, if it's a woman just buying for leisure, we obviously push them towards how and what they can do. Now, the main issue that so many people don't think about with a jewelry brand is that you need to extend the intention beyond the person. And what I mean by that is, If someone buys a high quality piece of jewelry from you, what are the chances they're going to rebuy another one? Why do they need another bracelet within the next 30 days? They don't. And so what we try to push consistently is gifting ideas. We're trying to make sure that we are sending over gifting ideas to them so that they can send it at the right time. So for example, Mother's Day, the perfect time to send over a gifting idea. So you can see Mother's Day over here, we did a 40% off site-wide and we angle it towards women and gifting. $31,000 generated just from 7 purchases. Again, 15,000 from this one, the Mother's Day launch. So in Mother's Day alone, just from that push and the angle that we were able to do, we were able to do around 10K from this one, an extra 20K from these two combined. So call it 30K, 61K in total for the Mother's Day campaigns. Super simple. And what we're doing is we're not overcomplicating who we're sending to. We're sending very intentional messaging to the people that actually need it. And bear in mind, we don't always send based on gifting or sales. What we're actually doing is we're trying to talk about why we're different. Number one, because it's a big pain point of the jewelry industry. Number two, why we're priced at the way that we are. Number three, we're also talking about sizing, etc. Because a lot of people won't buy a high quality or high price ticket item unless they know for sure that it's going to be suited for them. So we do all of that thinking for them. So campaign strategy, super simple. We send probably every second or third day, which sounds aggressive, but trust me, the inbox is packed with tons of people. And what we're doing is we're trying to add different messaging to each person. We're excluding people that have purchased recently so they don't get bombarded. We're also excluding anyone that has received a specific amount of emails, so they're very unlikely to leave the list and leave our purchasing habits. But overall, by gathering more people onto the list, number one, that's the number one strategy, is giving a strong offer and testing that offer. Number two, the campaign strategy. Anyone that is on the list or anyone that joins and shows high quality interest, we're sending them very catered to targeting. So you can see the click rate on this is super high. The amount of revenue we're generating per send, even if it's not a sale like this one, for example, that is the whole point. Now, let's take a look at what we're actually doing outside of this, because this is going to be the most important thing that you watch today, is our flow strategy. So with our flow strategy, I'm going to walk you through the exact structure so you can pause the video and literally duplicate them. So let's take a look at the Welcome Series. The Welcome Series is the highest revenue generating series because these are people that are new time customers, have never purchased from us before, and they need an introduction to the brand. And what the intention of this is, the way that we think about it, is anyone that did not purchase from ads or was not convinced enough from the get-go to buy from us, we need to now give them reason to. So take a look at this. By offering $100 off, it is such a strong offer that we consistently split test and we make it so simple. And what we do really well is make the offer immediate. So let's just say that you're scrolling on mobile. You immediately see, hey, welcome, you have $100 off. This is the code to use, and we auto apply it. Really, really simple. What we do additionally is we give them an FAQ section. Because keep in mind, these are people that don't trust us, number one. Number two, have not made up their minds about a purchase. And number three, need a little bit more convincing on why we're different, because they're probably price comparing. That's the typical case in jewelry. And so what this FAQ section does, it targets all of those questions they probably have about warranties, which is a super good selling factor. Custom designs, which again, is this going to fit me? Is this going to be the best design? Now you can. And then shipping and returns is super important as well for trust factor. So what we're doing in this first email is we're making it as easy as possible to buy, number one. Number two, we're also making sure we're building trust with the audience and targeting their pain points by giving an FAQ, and then additionally giving a review section. So we're actually redirecting them to go and read our reviews because that is how confident we are. So this is performing incredibly well. We actively run split tests. So we've split tested a plain text version versus a non-plain text. We've split test showing them specific products versus an FAQ section. This by far winner. And so we run tons of split tests on the different variations of an email, but this by far is a high quality winner. Now to non-purchasers, what we do is, again, we make sure that we send plain text emails so that they understand a little bit more in detail. It sounds personalized, etc., etc. Then we do kind of this jewelry showdown, for example. And so what we're doing is we're showing us versus others. And we want to make sure that they can see We show them other products that we have, etc., etc. And then from there, we're talking about other things. So we show them specifically reviews and FAQ section. Then we are showing them what, someone said about the ring and the difference it made. So all of these are very intentional. Super simple welcome flow, but it does everything you want it to. It's super simple, straight to the point, gives them their offer. It builds trust within the brand, which is the number one thing you have to do, and it shows them exactly what options they have. Now let's take a look at the abandonment emails, because this is something I don't often see brands get correct. And this is a huge part of your sequence and what's going to convert. So the abandoned checkout, let's take a look at this. Abandoned checkout is so important. So someone obviously abandons a checkout, and this is different to the cart. If you don't know, I assume that you do if you're watching this video. But obviously they abandon the checkout, and we allow re-entry after a specific amount of time. We're going to wait 35 minutes, and the key here is we're saying, hey, your order is almost ready to ship. We're not saying, hey, you left something behind, or hey, by the way, complete your purchase. What we're saying is, hey, by the way, we've already started packing up your order. It's super simple to get completed here. This is also running out. And so what we do is, again, in this first email, we keep it simple. We show them exactly, hey, your order is almost ready to ship, blah, blah, blah. Finish your order. Super simple. But the most important thing that we do is we know that people abandon a checkout because they, number one, don't trust us, number two, don't like the shipping costs, or number three, don't know when it's actually going to get to us. And so we target all of that as pain points in this email. We kind of rebuilt this us versus them and made it our trust factor so that they're most likely to convert. And that's why we have such an incredibly high placed order rate on this first email, even though it's a high ticket product. The people that went this far, they just need something. Now, to non-purchasers, we're sending them an offer that is higher than the welcome offer. So what you don't want to do is repeat the welcome offer at all. You want to send $150 off, which is a really tasteful, really appealing selling factor. It's this higher offer that you wouldn't have had otherwise. Again, keep it simple. So here's $150 off your cart. Code cart50, shop here, finish your order, blah, blah, blah. And then we're condensing that information about the lifetime warranty and everything here. And obviously giving them a reason of why us. So precious metals, certified jewelry, blah, blah, blah. Super simple, to the point. Again, we just want to give them the offer straight off the bat. But what we don't want to do is give them an offer immediately on the first email, because not everyone is price sensitive. So if you think about it, these people that have purchased from this email and generated $60,000 in revenue for us, imagine we added a code to that. We would have lost essentially a combination of $150 on every single order for no reason. It's just off of the top of line revenue, which doesn't make any sense. We didn't ever have to discount our brand because the issue was never the price. The issue was trust and shipping. Now, if they still haven't converted from this first email, it's probably a pricing issue. They're not sure. They don't know if they should do it. And so we give them this offer. And what we do next is we push a little bit more urgency. We'll try to say, hey, look, this is not going to last forever. You are either getting $150 off now or you're going to lose out. That's it. And then we send additional trust factor. So, hey, this is our promise. This is exactly what we offer you. Still considering your purchase. Here is what every purchase includes. Again, just repeating that. So we're just being pretty repetitive and aggressive, and it works incredibly well. Now, one of my favorite things is we kind of repeat that for the cart abandonment. We just talk about different pain points. So think about the cart abandonment being similar, but with the browser abandonment, one of my favorite things that we do here is we make sure, so you can see that we're doing a bunch of testing. So let me just try reload this. So you can see that we're doing a bunch of testing. We're about to add more emails into this, but let's take a look at this email, for example. This is one of my favorite emails personally, and you'll see why. So we're running split tests, and this one is a winner by a mile. Remember, people who land on your website and don't place an order, or don't make additional, moves or intentions, is because they don't know if the jewelry is for them. And so what we're trying to do is answer everything for them. So we walk them through this timeline of like, hey, so where are you right now? Is it an engagement ring? Yes or no? All right, not an engagement ring. What about an anniversary band? What about an eternity ring? What about a custom design? We're doing all of this thinking for them and building additional trust. So this is one of my favorite emails. We often send this as an actual campaign, and without fail, it's our top performing campaign that is non-discount. And it works so well. I highly recommend you repackage this and take a look at the way that we've done it, because this is going to change the trajectory of how people see your brand. So those are the flows. The exact structure, literally everything. You can see in every single one, we're sending at least 3 to 4 emails in every single flow. And we're trying to really, really strategically run a bunch of split tests and see what actually works for our audience. Especially testing your offer. Number one, test the structure of your emails and the different sections within them. And make sure that you are sending non-discount campaigns regularly and you're targeting the audience really well. Now, additionally, what we're doing is we're building strategies for the audience itself. Because in your jewelry audience, you're going to have a ton of things, right? You're going to have your engagers, but you're also going to have people that have abandoned. You're going to have people that have bought and never purchased again. You're going to have non-buyers. So people that are engaging with you, for example, and they've never placed an order. You want to figure out why and how to convert these people. And that's exactly why we send the campaigns that we do. Then what we do is we take the best performing campaigns that are non-discount. So over the last 90 days, for example, we'll filter that. Non-discount campaigns that performed incredibly well. And we put it into our flows. And we often do resends. Why? Because the whole point is to think smarter, not harder. And people forget about what you sent even 10 days ago. So reuse them, reuse your winners, and especially reuse them on non-buyers and people that are engaging but have never placed a repeat order. That's what you want to do. So in simple summary, our formula is so simple. Number one, run a pop-up that is a mystery. Run an exit intent that is a high quality offer, like $100 off. Send out campaigns that are non-discount. Make sure that you target the gifting angle hugely. Number 4. Number 5, build your flow structures really carefully. The way that I did, pause it, recreate that structure. Number 6, make sure you're targeting their pain points. Jewelry and high AOV brands are in an unfortunate predicament where you oftentimes won't convert them on first point of contact. So they see an ad, they're not just going to place an order. It's very rare. What they need is additional selling points. They need their pain points targeted. They need to be convinced of why they should buy from you. And that's it. So that's our formula for our jewelry brand. Go ahead, copy this in your own brand. I would love to hear your feedback, but that's exactly how we've been able to add additional revenue to this brand over the last few months and essentially added an additional $500,000 average. But if you just take last month, for example, and take a look at last month, we'll actually compare it to the previous period. $731,000 in attributed revenue, where 32% came from campaigns. So actually, the lever for high AOV brands generally works out to be just from the flows. So if they didn't have the structure for flows, they would have literally been losing $500,000 per month. That's without us sending anything. That's if they decided, hey, we can't send anything, like we really need to redefine our strategy. Fine. Still generate $500,000 a month. Don't wait to send campaigns. Build your flows, build the automated system, and try and make sure that your audience is not relying on impulse purchase. That's it. So if you're a jewelry brand and you want to work with an agency that can guarantee these kind of results for a shit ton of ROI, go down below, book in a call. We would love to work with you. As you can see, we can do it for brands in the Diamond District, in the most competitive market in the entire world. Then we can definitely do it for you. So go down below, book that in, and apply these steps yourself. If you don't want to book in a call, fine. Pause the video, go apply everything. You'll see the results yourself. I'll see you in the next video.